right, it's the second hour. We are back. This is Loving the Skin I'm In. Yes, it is I, Donovan Sadiq. I am sitting in because I don't want this to turn into a man-bashing hour, but that ain't what the show's about at all, so I really do enjoy it. Dee is the host. I am just sitting out and being her Robin to her Batman, or should I say Wonder Woman. What was Wonder Woman's sidekick? I forget her name.
Oh, she did have
Yeah, she
one,
had a little sidekick later on in the series.
Well, let's give you a name. How about that? We call you...
Boomquisha.
Yeah, okay.
Or how about Rodney?
There you go. That's run the mill, but yeah, I like that.
No, okay. So, I'd rather go...
Throwing Rocks Rodney.
Right, exactly. I love it. But Loving the Skin I'm In, Tay Wilder, D. Coulter. Is it K. Coulter? What are you going by this week?
D is just fine.
Shakur? D. Shakur? So D. Coulter and Miss Deja are your regular hosts, and we're looking forward to them putting some input in there because there's a lot to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
Because we're talking about relationships. Tay has some great ideas. Deja has some great ideas. And this show is so we can talk about women of colors, things that bother you guys. That's what it's about. So come and join us. Hit us up, check us out, give us some comments. And, if we like them, we like them. If we don't, we don't. It is what it is.
And it's important, too, which is why we insisted that you be on the show, because it's important to have a man's point of view on the show.
Right.
I mean, you can have a bunch of women going back and forth, but it's always interesting to see what a man thinks because we're not men.
Right. That's true. Now, when it comes to the ratchetness, remember, I wasn't in the ghetto, so I don't know all the...
Right. You're the resident expert on ratchets.
Well, I read the book, Iceberg Slim Pimp, but that doesn't mean, I know how to apply it into ghetto tactic, But like I said, because I'm committed to your sister, so you know how that goes. I love you, Afro Thunderlocks!
Well, just remember, she read the book, too.
Yes, she did. And I'm willing to do anything. Who knew that little freshman would turn out the way she did?
See?
So, what are we getting into this hour?
Well, this hour, we want to talk about the state or the state of the health in the black community.
Oh, that's going to be interesting because everything on the pig except the oink.
Well, I don't because I'm a vegan.
Okay.
But yes, overall we do. You name it, we eat it.
Piglet,
fried,
piggish,
dyed,
exactly.
all that, and hot sauce goes on everything. Which I'm not saying I've never eaten soul food,
sure, of course,
or whatever the case is. I mean, it's good, it's just not all the time.
Okay.
So we want to talk about the health in the black community, the state of the health in the black community.
What is the state of the health in the black community?
Just what my little handy Google says here. I love Google.
Yes, Google.
Okay, so it says health conditions. The death rate for African Americans was generally higher than whites for heart diseases, stroke, cancer, asthma, influenza, and pneumonia, diabetes, HIV and AIDS, and homicide.
Wow.
Right, and so that's not good.
Okay.
That's not good at all. And a lot of these things, especially even murder is avoidable,
Yeah, true.
All of these things are avoidable or can be drastically reduced really by, it's simple. It's, regarding a lot of diseases and stuff, it's diet and exercise.
Oh, no, can't do it. No, my hair. No.
Hey, listen, I go running, 5 times a week, up to 5 miles a day.
Right.
I eat pretty healthy for the most part. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. We just shared a fire Pepsi.
Yeah, we did.
It was good, You
gotta treat yourself sometimes.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm not sitting up here saying we're gonna eat carrots all day because I don't really like carrots like that.
But I'm gonna say this for the guys that are listening. Go out with a vegan because that is the cheapest date you'll ever go. You just get them some salad and some breadsticks, and they're fine. A glass of water. So.
Right. Until you go to one of those trendy,
you're
vegan
gonna pay.
restaurants.
They're gonna give it this little salad, and it costs like $60.
Right. So yeah. But anyway, so a lot of that is avoidable. Now, I get people asking me all the time, about fitness and exercise, and I always go on the record and say I am none of the above. I'm not a fitness expert or any of that. I just know what I do. Most people who see me will see that I'm not a skinny person.
Okay.
I'm not fat, but I'm not skinny. A lot of times you see a vegan, they're pretty thin or whatever the case is. Hey, listen, I'm not a vegan. I'm a voluptuous vegan. Okay.
Right, okay. well, you have good genes, so
But it's not really that hard. It all starts in your mind.
Okay.
It all starts with what type of lifestyle do I want to live? For me, when I went on a journey of being a vegan, listen, I'm not advocating nobody be a vegan because I hate having that conversation with people. I'm not going to be no vegan. Yeah, I got to have me some meat. Okay, listen, you do what you got to do. I'm just telling you what I do.
I was going to say something else, but go ahead.
Well, okay. Keep it clean here. So I'm not advocating that. I feel like you should do what you need to do. But at some point in time, we got to come to grips and say, especially in our community, the Black community, we are dropping like flies. Mm-hmm. Look at all of the men rappers, for example.
Oh my gosh!
Who have died in their 40s and 50s.
But when you burn the candle at both ends,
right? It's due to diabetes.
Yeah, and then where they're coming from. Think about it. If you're coming from, which most rappers come out of, very bad conditions, right? Coming out of the projects or whatever. What are you eating? You're eating top ramen. You're eating that government cheese, fried bologna,
fried chicken.
Yeah, fried chicken. Hog maws, things that are just, it's not good for you, but it's enough to fill your belly.
Right.
And then, they're only 40, 50 years old, our age, and they're dropping like flies. It's catching up to them. And then they aggravate the situation by smoking and drinking.
Stress. All that plays into it.
Okay.
And so a lot of that is avoidable. And as I said, I'm not trying to preach to nobody about being a vegan. Hell, do what you want to do. Do what you like.
Right.
But again, as I was saying, at some point in time, we got to come to grips. Like, we're dying early for a reason. It's because of the things we're doing to and putting into our bodies.
You're right.
I'll be honest with you. I like the taste of fried chicken. I'm a vegan, so I don't eat it.
Right.
But it's not good for me. Busta Rhymes and Nas have a song called Fried Chicken. And in one of the lines, Busta Rhymes says, how you going to eat something until it kills you? And that's and the song is talking about the state of the health of Black community. Well, we're eating stuff until it kills us.
Right? Didn't DJ Quick have a song like that too? It's called "Don't You Eat It."
I don't know if it was exactly talking about that. Okay.
Don't you do it?
Right. Okay, but I mean, we just. To me, I'm gonna just be honest. It's ignorance. It is ignorance.
And stubbornness. Ignorance
and stubbornness. I'm not gonna be shit. I can't be eating no lettuce. I got to have this, and I got to have all. Okay.
Well, I don't mean to cut you off, but I have a friend right now whose mother is diabetic. Okay. Her mother's a little older. She comes from our parents' era. She's in our era. It's like that. And her mother's leg got infected because her mother isn't taking the medicine like she's supposed to and doing like that. And it's like. But the mother doesn't want, like, the nursing care. You know what I mean? I don't need no help. I can do it myself. Okay, so they went to check on her, and her leg had got inflamed.
Eesh.
Right?
Yeah.
And she's like, I was putting the dressing on it, whatever. It's like, if you had done, the daughter had asked her, well, Mom, if you don't go to the doctor... I don't want to go to the doctor because they keep talking about cutting the foot off. Well, you ain't helping your situation.
I wanted to cuss so bad right now when you said that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, like I said, the stubbornness. I'm not saying ignorant. The stubbornness.
It is ignorance. It's ignorant and it's stubborn. Keep it real.
They're definitely going to cut it off because you're not going in. And luckily, they cut the inflammation in time and they got the thing down. But you won't
do what you need to do in order to avoid getting your leg cut off.
Right. And, and then I told my friend, I said, well, she's 60, 70 years old, whatever it is, make her. What's she going to do?
You can't. You cannot make a grown person.
Sure you can. What's she going to do? What's she going to do?
What? I mean, you're going to force her to take the medicine too?
You get a nurse there for what? I don't want to. You ain't got.
Well, patients have rights, so you can't make them do stuff.
That's true, but we're talking about people in our community.
Well, yeah, I mean, and you still can't make them.
Please. I told my mom, what you going to do?
Yeah, your mama gonna whoop your ass.
If I gotta go down and throw it down her throat, I'm gonna do it.
And this is really just like a personal, standpoint for me. My mother just passed of cancer last November. Yeah. Now I'm not saying it was her diet or any of that. I mean, it was probably just her time to go. Right. I feel like there were certain things that she could have done, to alleviate the cancer or lengthen her life, but it was her choice at the end of the day. She made the decision to eat the things she wanted to eat. And again, I'm not saying that was the cause of her succumbing to cancer, but there was nothing I can do. It was a personal choice. If she wanted to eat the things that, were bad for her, that was her life and that's what she wanted to do. Now, I do firmly believe that a lot of the things that are going on in our community as far as diet and exercise are rooted in ignorance. Again, I'm gonna play the race card for you guys, okay? For you guys who you are gonna say you're using the race card to get your damn right.
Damn right.
Okay. Now, in the motherland, we weren't eating that kind of stuff.
Yes, absolutely.
We weren't eating fried this and all that and hog mog. What the hell is a hog mog?
Well, the hog mog is what the master left on the.
I don't. That is a hog ball. I mean,
It's all the guts and hog maws mixed together and they just throw it together. And there you go, niggas, have this.
But you know what? That is exactly what happened.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't eat like that. We got the leftovers from all the other, the stuff they didn't want from the good parts.
Mm-hmm.
And so we scrounged together and made it a meal.
And until this day, Negroes are eating chitlins.
Chitlins that smell like the straight up shit.
It is shit because it's the small intestine.
So that's where our diet came from, and we continue to eat like that. We are amongst the pack of the highest numbers of everything as far as bad,
this,
health,
bad,
this, that, and the other. It's avoidable.
Well, and I'm glad you brought that up because do you know that the black population since the early 1960s has maintained no greater, I think we reached our greatest height in population at about 14.7% in 1968. But we have been steady for over almost 50 years now.
At 12 to 13.
12 to 13%.
Yeah. Right.
And people say, well, why is that? Like you said, our health is bad.
It's our health. It's
homosexuality. And I'm not downing gay people. What I'm saying is
facts,
we're not reproducing at a rate.
And if we are reproducing, we're not keeping the children because we are having abortions at very alarming rates. So there's a lot of that.
We're killing each other, black on black, and stuff like that.
But diet is and that's a huge thing. I mean, we're hearing people dying at 40, 50, and 60. Those are babies.
Yes.
With today's technology, they said a baby can live to be 120 years old. So there's no excuse for people to be going earlier than they're supposed to.
Well, here's another thing that's we're talking about health. Diabetes is curable.
It is.
It's curable.
It's curable.
But Negroes are still. You've had diabetes for 8 years. All you gotta do is run.
I got sugar diabetes.
Yeah. You're just like, dude.
Yeah. I mean, and the good news is this too, because, oftentimes, people will get on a tangent of, talking bad about the black community, but there's good news always.
Yes.
And there are a lot of black vegans, not promoting veganism, but there's a lot of black vegans or a lot of people who are turning into vegans because they're now starting to see the light.
Or you got people like me who aren't a vegan. I'll eat all the steak and all everything I need, but I work out and I do it.
And you eat vegetables. You're not opposed to eating vegetables. I eat a lot of
vegetables. I'd rather eat that more so than I did meat.
So, I mean, but that's totally within our control.
Right.
You can choose whether you live or die just by what you're putting in your mouth. But, I mean, it's not curable if you're drinking, the red Kool-Aid with all the sugar.
And for me, I don't know if a lot of people know this, I gave up drinking for the simple fact that as I'm getting older, the taste is just something about it now. I just don't.
I wasn't. Maybe you've matured a little.
Well, remember, I wasn't really like a drinker. TV's on, let me drink. I'm watching a movie, let me drink. No, I was a social drinker, but just, when I say give up drinking, I mean I still drink like a wine or two or something like that. But I mean, just drinking
left the 40s
beer.
Alone?
Yeah, I left the 40s alone.
The Mad Dog.
Yeah, I saw the Tupac. Yeah, I saw the Tupac movie, and I'm saying, why am I watching this when I lived it? You know what I mean? There's something in my palate that I was like, I don't need this anymore. I'm almost 50 years old.
Yeah, well, maybe it's a maturity thing. Like, okay,
Well, I wasn't much of a drinker even at a younger age, but,
honestly, I don't drink.
Right.
I say I don't drink, but once a year or so I might have something. Yeah. But for me, just knowing what alcohol does to your liver.
Well, yeah, it does to your liver. And then I look at some of the people, some of our friends, that they're not, some of them are a lot sick, like you said, the health and stuff like that. And I'm looking at this guy, he's drinking. And the way they've aged, because I'm not trying to knock myself or anything like that, but...
No, go ahead and pat yourself on the back, brother.
I get a lot of people that say they can't believe I'm 47 years old. And I was like, well, what's a 47-year-old supposed to look like? They want you to be broken down, gray-haired, and just beat
up. Because the 47-year-old men that they know look like hell.
That. Yeah, and I'm just like, wow, And I was talking to some Africans, and they couldn't believe it. They were like, what?
Well, I mean, it's value in taking care of yourself.
Right.
There's nothing that says that you need to age badly
Right.
because you're a certain age. If you take care of yourself,
True.
you're going to do well.
True.
I mean, it's not hard to.
And you know, and then here's a wake up for me. When I got diagnosed with lupus, I said, "Oh hell no!" You know, I'm gonna do what I got to do,
Right.
and just go about it. And really, I do feel a lot better because I'm listening to what the doctor told me.
Right.
So.
I mean, and to your point, there's a lot of people with lupus who are on the other side of that, to where they're really sick,
it's horrific.
and it's
oh
yeah,
my
it is.
gosh.
So, like you said, it's really just following, the doctor's orders and doing what you got to do. But a lot of
yourself.
it really is common. Yeah, help yourself. It's common sense. You know, if you eat bad, you're gonna feel bad.
Bad.
It's
Right.
to me, it's not hard to figure out.
I love Jesus, but I'm not in a rush to meet him. Personally.
Well, and a lot of this, like I said too, it is rooted in ignorance, because you think, well, because I don't want it to be that, I could eat chicken every day of the week, fried chicken, and it's not going to hurt me because I don't want it to hurt me. But the fact of the matter is, it's going to hurt you.
I read a lot of newspaper. Like I get the Gulf War News Registry and stuff like that, tells you about stuff. It has been proven all over again how much steroids they're pumping into these poultry and beef and stuff like that, which is adding to the problem of people. I mean, I look at some of these young kids, I'm thinking, Jesus Christ, that girl's swollen.
And ain't nothing but 9, 10,
Right,
11,
yeah.
12,
and,
right.
And I look at the parents and I'm saying, this girl is a roly-poly, and you're still sitting here at McDonald's with her.
I'm not promoting veganism, but even if I wasn't a vegan, I would not be eating at McDonald's.
No, that movie
No,
set me off.
I
I
would
said,
not
I'm
be
done.
putting nothing in my mouth from McDonald's, not no ice water, none of that.
Yeah, I notice I eat more at Subway now. Mm-hmm. Not trying to
Even
promote
though they've
Subway.
got some issues,
yeah, they've got some
too, but
issues,
it's
but it's better than
McDonald's.
McDonald's.
Right.
I'll do that.
My dad always says, keep your mouth out of other people's kitchen.
Yeah.
When you cook your own food, you control what goes into your
it,
food,
your diet.
all of that. But
wait, speaking of diet, you've got these women, independent black women.
Oh, Lord.
And here they are. And our video went out, but that's okay. They don't cook for their children. Winco come the 1st through the 6th. I avoid Winco because all the
But that's where the ratchets are, though.
Yes, that's where the ratchets are, but I got tired of talking about them and laughing. But, no, and you see them, they got $700 on their food stamp card, and the bottom of the cart is filled full of Top Ramen. And I'm just thinking, look at all that sodium that you're giving these kids, even though it's a quick meal. And these kids need a meal. Like you said, and they don't eat vegetables. There's rarely any vegetables.
I've never understood how a parent can fix their mouth and say, oh, my kids don't like vegetables. They won't eat vegetables. Who's the boss?
Yeah, when does a kid have a choice?
Because they give it to them.
Which to me, women that are listening, I'm talking from a man's perspective, that is ludicrous, because just like you guys get tired of trying to please us, try pleasing a 4, 5, 6-year-old. So who's crazy here?
Right.
I mean, I wouldn't even do it. When we were growing up, D, I don't know if you had the same experience that I did. You ate what was in front of you. You don't want it? Guess what? That's all you. That's it.
This is not
Kitchen's
Burger
closed.
King.
That's it.
Okay.
That's it.
What's on the table is what's getting eaten or
that's
not.
what you're going to eat. And that's it. There is no other choice. You're going to eat what's in front of you, and that's it.
But yeah, no, the kids have. I know of somebody, when their kids were young, they had 4 of them at the time. If they didn't want to eat, if one wanted McDonald's, they go to McDonald's. If one wanted Burger King, then they go to Burger King. Well, that one they want this, they would go to that. And I'm like, are you for real?
Yeah, can't do it. Won't do it.
You really?
Won't do it.
These little kids ain't got no driver's license, no money, nothing. And y'all letting them run the show? And
that's why Pookie and Ray Ray and all these other people are running the parents versus the parents, teaching them something about life. And I'm not knocking anybody, whatever, but if you give your children everything, what will they strive for? Nothing.
Well, they don't have a reason to.
Right, exactly. Thank you. That's that's the whole point. My mom could have done for me, but I'm a better man because I did for myself.
Right. Yeah, but I mean, I don't know.
My mom's got so much money, it just kills me. It just kills me. she told me when I was in Louisiana, I ain't leaving y'all black asses nothing.
Damn, like that.
Straight
mom?
out. I said, well, you go ahead.
Tell her you got a good friend that, I agree with you,
My
Mom.
mom said she's going to enjoy the money that she earned.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
She's going to leave something for her grandkids and stuff like that. She goes, y'all, you and your brother, could split up what's left after I'm gone.
Well, see, that's another thing we should talk about next week, too, is leaving a legacy for our children. That is something that we don't do overall in our community, and we need to. And we'll get into that next week.
Yeah, but again, all the shootings that go on in the ghetto or so-called ghetto in the black community, you would think that these Negroes would put $3. I mean, you got credit unions that give you $2,000 free life insurance. I'm not saying, you want your kid to be a target, but if you're in that kind of environment, you got money for booze, weed, and all this other stuff. You weave $10 a month, just in case little J-Bone.
J-Bone. See, now you make it up.
In case little J-Bone happens to be a victim of black-on-black crime.
Well, it's funny because...
that's how white people make a lot of their money.
Oh yeah, absolutely, leaving a legacy. But I used to be a life insurance agent.
Yeah, those stories are horrific.
And I've heard and seen it all.
Right.
And mostly I dealt with our people. I felt like black people need life insurance. I mean, hell, everybody needs life insurance. But we, not all of us, but some of us don't believe in life insurance for a whole bunch of reasons. You name one. But even the most ridiculous, and that's a good reason to them why not, not to get life insurance.
And then they're over here doing the car wash and the GoFundMe.
The GoFundMe is the new life insurance. To where it's.
And by the way, my boo, Afro Thunderlocks, you guys can donate to her little thing. She's trying to go on a vacation. I think she's up to $500.
I think she's about almost 6.
Almost 6. Okay, yeah. I'm going to put 100 in there. I'm just waiting for the first, boo. I'm waiting for the first. So it does work. Yes.
But yeah, so we life insurance is one of those subjects, and again, it's not just us; it's a lot of but people. Since we're talking about us, life insurance is not something that we wholeheartedly or overall believe in.
Right. Until we need it,
then we become believers. I've had people call me after their mom or whoever has passed away, as when I was a life insurance agent. Hey, my mama died, and. So I'm just calling to see what's going on with her life insurance. Okay, what's your mama's name?
What's her name?
Oh,
Laquita.
You see, wow, Darofa. Okay,
right. Wilhelmina.
Right. Well, I hate to inform you, but your mom's life insurance policy lapsed.
What you mean?
Right. Well, my mama been paying all these years for all this life insurance, and y'all look at you ripping off the people and sir. Life insurance works when you pay for it. There's a premium, and when it lapses, there's no,
Right.
But all this, so
that's why you don't let it lapse.
You get into all of that.
Ignorance. Ignorance.
Right. You don't know what your mama have, or has, or had, or whatever the case is. And then when the time comes, but I've sat down with a lot of people, and when they've had the opportunity to get life insurance, I'm not going to leave them rich. Well, it's not my responsibility to, once I'm dead, why do I care?
The life insurance is to pay off your debt because by law, you have to pay off your debts or your debt that your child did not incur becomes their responsibility.
Depending on what it is.
Yeah, what it is.
Right. So, I've heard it all. Like, this one particular story, I tell people a lot. I sat down with this woman and her boyfriend. It wasn't even her husband. Mm-hmm. She felt like she needed some life insurance. Now, as I'm talking to her, she has a whole host of issues. You name it. She was like in her young 50s. Mm-hmm. Very overweight and just had a lot of issues. And so she's like, okay, yeah, I need the insurance and this, that, and the other. But her boyfriend is sitting on the couch in the background. Nah, you don't need no insurance. You got burial insurance. That's a waste of money. Do you know this lady went and got the insurance anyway, and a month later this lady died and left his black ass as the beneficiary? Now,
because I love you.
Right, but imagine if she took his advice. Then he probably,
be
packed up his stuff and left it to her family to bury her.
And since we're talking about that real quick, I just want to put a quick plug in. What is the first thing you do when you hear, let's say your mama or your daddy dies? What is the first thing, or your brother or your sister dies? What's the first thing you should do?
You should lock up the house. No, just
you know what? No. You know what? You are 100% right.
You should lock up the house because the cousins from Willacoochee, Georgia is coming.
The girlfriend that isn't legally married to him, they will take all those priceless photos and they will ransack that house because the person that is deceased, rest their soul, is not there to contest anything.
Exactly.
And they'll say, oh, they gave that to me.
Yep.
So that's the first thing you should do when you get word of a loved one.
Your loved one's belongings.
Yes, secure the belongings.
I always tell people that.
And a lot of people don't know that.
You go over there a minute later and it'll be ransacked.
Exactly.
So
you need to secure the location.
You need to secure the location. But, life insurance is one of those things a lot of people don't really want to talk about because, I ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, we're not.
Yeah, you might step off on the curb and get ran over by a bus.
Very, very true.
For me, I have, plenty of life insurance. My daughter is 20. She'll be 25. But especially when she was younger, I wanted, if God forbid I died, I wanted her to be able to go to college, live her life. I didn't want her to be going from pillar to post, somebody taking care of her.
Or a man taking care of her, and
And even now, I would never want to leave her the burden of trying to figure out how she's going to bear. Like I did tell her, listen, you take the money and roll my ass off the side of a mountain.
Right.
But at least I didn't leave
cremate you and
strapped. We're trying to figure out how you're going to bury me and all that other stuff. That to me, that's a very irresponsible thing to do.
And that just brings in so much more heartache because now, a quick example of my oldest uncle on my dad's side, my dad's oldest brother, my dad's the second oldest. The father, my uncle died. Mm-hmm. This man has 4 kids. And do you know that they reached out to us and, they were like, hey, so-and-so died. And I was like, okay. And what do you want? They
my condolences.
Yeah. They didn't say, we need to piece together. But there's a lot of families where they'll look at you and be like, could you?
Well, you're doing well off, ain't you?
Yeah. But the way I look at it is, okay, that's your children's responsibility to bury you, and if the kids can't do it, then it falls to the siblings.
Well, just because it's something I can speak on as of recently, my mom, as I said, passed away in November. And we didn't burden anybody.
Right. You guys had some hard decisions to make.
We did. My mom passed away on a Thursday, and we had her buried on a Tuesday. Now, a lot of people were mad. Well, we wanted to come down to the funeral. We want to get this was our mother. We know you loved her too.
Yes.
But we wanted to just get it over so we can start grieving. And there's no feeling in the world like losing your mama.
Yes.
So, but we were able to do that. We didn't, reach out to everybody. Listen, we need to go fund me because my mom had her stuff together.
She did.
And so we were
prolific
able to
writer and everything. The woman got
so we were able to do that. But God forbid, me and my siblings discussed this. Can you imagine if we didn't either have the resources or she didn't have life insurance? My mom would roll. She would snap up out of the casket and be like, "I know y'all motherfuckers ain't gonna have no GoFundMe for me."
Well, and here's another thing. Since we're talking about health and stuff like that, these are the things that we should be doing for our elders and making sure if they're in those twilight years, I love my mom. My mom is 20 years older than me. She's 67 years old. I know she's got herself together and stuff.
Right.
And we talked about when I went back home. But the thing is, though, make sure if that policy isn't being paid, somebody, step up and do it.
Especially when they're older, they have a lot of health issues. They're probably not
paying
hard
attention.
to get insurance because the rate is high. And
exactly.
So somebody needs to step in and do that. But it just
at least make sure it's being paid.
Right.
And if you don't know if it's being paid, take a policy out yourself.
Exactly.
And pay on it. They don't have to know.
And a lot of times, too, a lot of people don't know a baby at 10 days old, you can insure a baby at 10 days old. You can get a whopping policy for $10 a month for the rest of that kid's life.
Yep.
But people won't do that.
Yeah, is that term or is that?
No, it's not term. It's whole life.
Whole life, yeah.
Or, universal life for a baby.
Yes.
And that premium will stay the same. But now, that's a bill. But yet you go get those kids
Cell
that maybe a Jordan pair of Jordans, first pair of Jordans,
and weaves and nails.
Right, so it's really just you're setting your priorities. I mean, a life insurance is relatively cheap.
Right.
Not that I even people keep saying you need to get back into the life insurance. No, because I did not like dealing with that.
Yeah,
I did not like having to plead with people to do the right thing by themselves.
Well, the thing here's the funny thing. Since we're talking about that real quick, a situation like that. Mm-hmm. Have you noticed that other cultures, being white, they come to the insurance person. Nobody's got to tell them to do that.
Right.
Because they're taught generation to generation,
It's how you leave a legacy and generational wealth. Mm-hmm. Life insurance is one of the number one vehicles to do that.
Wealth, right.
There's a lot of people who have started companies and stuff behind somebody leaving them well off.
Donald Trump, he took a small $4 million loan from his father in the 1970s.
Right. So,
it's small, $4 million. Mm-hmm.
Leave me a small $4 million.
Exactly.
So so it's just
stubbornness and ignorance.
A lot of the stuff that we go through is avoidable, but it's just we have to come out of thinking.
Well, what I think it is victimization. We just keep playing the victim.
Well, and honestly, we are the victim.
No, we are.
We are the victim, and we've been the victim
for a long time.
And here's a race card again, y'all. We've been the victim since the Middle Passage.
Yes, no, I understand
we've been a victim, and everywhere we've turned, it has been.
Right.
We have been stopped.
Right now, I agree with you wholeheartedly with that. But what I'm saying is, you compare the opportunities that we have today, being younger people, versus when we were coming up, whatever the deal is. There is no excuse why you can't get an education.
Well, no, you get an education, but we know there's a lot of people with degrees who can't get a job.
True.
So we need to listen. Black community sees $1.3 trillion every year. There is no reason why we can't be creating our own jobs and hiring our own people.
That's where I was going with that. We have to start changing our mentality from working for somebody to creating jobs for ourselves.
Right. And that way you don't have to apologize about being black. Like, I know I couldn't go into a lot of people's places of employment and ask for a job with my hair like this.
Right.
I couldn't do it because it's unruly or,
let me ask you this, though. Even if it's like you have your little company and stuff like that, and people will hate on your company and not do business with you, even though you know what you're doing and how to do it, they rather go to Quincela or, Mike.
Well, in our community, we say we think the white man's ice is colder than ours.
Yeah, I just, after some of these elections and some of the things and some of the people that you worked with, we're kind of be like, oh man, I should have done, shoulda, coulda, woulda, dude.
Listen, ain't nobody ever gonna tell me that I'm not good at what I do. I know that I'm good at what I do.
And Al says you're good at what you do.
You better believe it, goddammit. Okay? So
you damn right.
But you're not gonna take my advice, but you'll take everybody else's advice. And there's nothing
That's
I
a
can
whole
do
different
about
show.
that.
I would love to talk about it on a
Well,
whole
we
different
need
show.
to.
Because, certain people could have won elections and polished their presentation because there was a young lady named Millie Bailey that you work with. And from the time that girl started to where she ended up, total 360.
People were blown away.
Yeah, blown away. Unbelievable.
Blown away.
And, but then you got these seasoned people who should know better. And I'm not calling out any particular person because you work with a lot of people.
Right.
And they should not be where they're at.
Well,
they should be farther. You got some people that have been in the industry for 10 years and they've got all these clients.
Well, there's some people who would just like to say you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make a drink, I always say, listen, I'm trying to give you, I'm not trying to change your mind. I'm just trying to give you advice. What you do with it is on you.
Right.
But you have a lot of people who won't do that. And so, or you have some people who will discount what I'm saying. And then as soon as, like you said, Guadalupe or Sally or somebody comes along, oh, well, that sounds wonderful.
Right. And then
that's the same thing.
But no. Here's the funny thing, and then they come back after it's all said and done and say, you know what, I should have.
You only got one time to make a first impression.
Right. The race is over. There's no point in saying shoulda, coulda, or woulda, or whatever. And why is it that when we're dealing with the black business that we want the hookup?
Because we don't. When you don't love yourself, we Oh
no, go ahead.
Oh yeah. So when you don't love yourself, you don't love other people. So you don't love yourself. You think, well, shoot, they surely don't love themselves, so I'm gonna go ask for a discount.
Right.
And then if they don't give it to me, then it's gonna be like, wow, man, hook a brother up, hook a sister up.
I'm here to make money.
My dad has been a mechanic for almost 50 years. And he, is unapologetically black. He has worked majority with black people. Do you know how many times that man has been stiffed for his money?
Oh, absolutely. I can imagine.
Or had somebody say, oh, man, I need to pay my light bill. Can you go in and hook a brother up? So, what am I supposed to do?
Okay, well, let's put it in the context of women. How many times when you were a beautician that they want to get their hair done They want you to hook them up. You know, here you are doing the hair, and they're like, oh, I don't have my checkbook this week.
Let me tell you, I was a cosmetologist at the age of 19. That was the first thing I did once I graduated high school and went to cosmetology school. My mom thought I was, talented at doing it, so I went. I didn't last as a cosmetologist no more than, I think I was probably 20 when I got out. Simply because, and no shade to black women, I love black women, but
tired of being stiff.
Man, I've had women. Now, I'm a child virtually to them.
Right.
So maybe that had a lot to do with it. Sit in my chair after I have relaxed their hair, cut, style, you name it, and turn to me and say, I don't get paid in 2 weeks. I get paid in 2 weeks. I'm going to have to bring it back to you.
Did they leave you a tip?
No.
They just said up out of the chair.
But you had me do all of that to your hair. And then you're going to tell me, oh, by the way, now I'd have been a cold piece if I'd have dashed some water on that. You know what I mean?
I would have been cutting all that shit out of her hair.
But that's the kind of stuff that I dealt with.
And you said, I'm done.
I tapped out of the business because I was like, I can't do this. I mean, I'm
gotta
young.
Live. Yeah, you got to live.
Right. And I didn't have any experience with that. I mean, it discouraged me. And I was like, and I didn't know how to do hair. But I was like, nope, I never want to deal with that again.
Right.
So, but that is prevalent in our community. We want the hookup. It's like, well, because I'm black.
But here's the funny thing, though. They don't try that shit with the white.
Not at all. I tell my dad all the time when people tell him, brother, I ain't got it. I said, tell them to Watusi they ass up to Pet Boys and tell them that and see how far they get.
The cops are called.
Right. You may get your ass off my property.
Right.
Right.
They're going to get their money. They're going to take you to court and get that money and get you a lien.
But they don't they won't even think about doing that. But the brother man don't need his money.
Right. But didn't we say something about that? Remember I told you about the BT-1000 that jumped out of the plastic surgeon's office and stuff like that?
Yeah.
I mean, no, but you know what I mean? It's like, why do we do that to each other?
A lack of self-love. We don't love ourselves enough to say, you know what? If anybody getting my money, it's going to be the fellow black man. We feel like, oh, well, if the black man, I shoot it, he gonna understand because, we going through the same thing.
Hell with that.
I mean, it's a lot. I mean, and I know you, Donovan, you have a very good thing going on with all of your shows. You're very influential. And I know for a fact,
everybody hates me.
But they want you to they want you to do some work.
Oh yeah, for them.
But they ain't coming and saying, "Here, brother, here's how much." Listen, this is what I need you to do. How much of your service is going to be? They just assume that you're going to do it for free. Right. And I always say, get your money.
And they don't understand green screen and doing the editing. That's the hardest part of this job. This right here is the easy part.
Right, because when they go and have somebody else do their stuff, that's somebody else. The white man's ice. They're not even going to think about asking him to do it for free.
Right.
But you got to do it. I mean, this costs money.
Right. And, I'm good-natured, so some people say.
No, I mean, you are. And I think a lot of people do take advantage of that. But I don't think nobody should be expected to work for free. You have talents and gifts that were given to you, and you should be compensated for it. Now, I'm not saying you should never help people.
Yeah, no.
You should help people, but it shouldn't.
Especially if you're blessed.
Yeah, but it shouldn't come to the detriment of your livelihood. Well, damn, my lights got cut off because I gave you a break, and now you up in there seeing and watching Atlanta Housewives.
Right. You got your big screen going.
Right. And I'm looking crazy.
Yeah, but that's what we do within our community and stuff. So, what's this right here? What does that say?
That says community.
Okay. So,
that was pertaining to the diet in the black community.
Okay.
That's my chicken scratch.
Okay, yeah. So.
I mean, so there's honestly so many things that we can talk about. And I know we start with a topic and we go to everything, but we're having a conversation.
Right.
Because these are the things that people need to hear about. We really do. And again, it's not about beating up on black people. Hell, we're black people.
No.
If anybody
you have to identify
black,
the problem.
Right. If anybody who is black loves themselves, it's me and you.
Right.
We love ourselves.
True.
So that's not what we're about.
No.
We're not about bashing people.
Now, remember what I told you about that story? That person that came on he came on one of my Facebook pages, and he was like,
yes.
"Oh, you don't have any proof, and you don't do this, something like that." Now, I've been doing this for 6 years. We've been doing this for a long time now.
We've been involved. We're seasoned
professionals. And like I said, I don't mind anybody having an opinion, whatever. But first of all, know what you're talking about.
Right.
And if you're new to the conversation, learn the history of what we're talking about and what the show is about before you look like an ass, and I have to put you in check because, and this was an older gentleman, and I'm not trying to dog anybody out, unintentionally, because maybe he's just ignorant, like you said,
right?
And it's he gave me his number to call him. I'll call him later on this evening, but it's like, don't check me if you don't know what I'm talking. To tell me I got proof, like you said. How do we know he doesn't work for Ida?
Well, and my dad says these two things, and by now most people probably be able to figure out my dad is very influential in my life, as was my mother.
Wow, fathers are so important in a young girl's life. They are.
I love my father. My father has always been
it doesn't have to be your father.
Influence.
It could be a positive uncle. A positive man is so influential.
Yes.
I sponsor a friend of mine's daughter right now. She has her father in her life. We're all military people. And I am so impressed with this young girl. And I'm constantly telling her, stay positive, move forward, doing what she's got to do.
So back to the old conversation we were having, Black girls need that on a regular basis. And to your point, it doesn't need to come from just the father. It can be a father figure or a positive male figure. Black girls need to hear that. And I can honestly say I am where I am because my father was that way. But he has these two sayings. He says, people often defend things that they don't know. No. So that's the case in the gentleman that contacted you. And it's not. He also says it's not what you know, is what you can prove. So he's coming on your thing, telling you you're wrong. But it's like, okay, you're saying I'm wrong, but prove me wrong.
Prove me wrong.
Show me where I'm wrong.
Well, D, we've been doing this for 6 years. Everybody already knows. If I'm going to allege something, I most likely already have the proof.
But again, that also speaks to another issue of, we do that to each other. We want to try to. I always say pull each other's pants down the middle of the street. Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. But how many, of the other people are you going to go do that to?
Right.
You're wrong.
Right.
You're not going to do that to
Ito put something out. Oh, yes, $3 billion a year. The WLC, yes, $3 billion.
But he's comfortable doing that to you, but he ain't going to do that to them.
Right. I hear you.
So, I mean... That's an issue. But like you gave an opportunity. Listen, if you want to discuss it, hell, call him and say, come on the show.
Right.
Prove me wrong. And I'm not trying to fight with you, but you raised the issue as far as I don't know what I'm talking about.
Well, in regards to young ladies that might be listening to this show right now, same thing. If you're always welcome to come on the show and express your opinion. And, and we understand not everybody wants to be on video. We just do the video so that we love ourselves, so we have nothing to hide. So that's why we do the video and stuff like that. But if you want to just come on the radio, like right now, we are not on video. We are on the radio. You're more than welcome to come on and express your thing, and we'll give you a fake name, Boom Quisha, or,
put you behind a little silhouette.
Silhouette thing, or whatever you got to do, and we'll put you on there. But I firmly believe that in the Black community, our young girls who are raising these families and are now, head of household in a lot of situations, have a self-esteem problem. I believe that.
I mean, I think that is true. But again, if their role models have a self-esteem problem, they're going to have a self-esteem problem.
But what I'm saying is what this show is trying to do is trying to reverse that trend and give them another perspective to think about it.
And, and I know we're getting ready to leave here, but I always tell you this, and I think you are very good at this. I remember one conversation you had with me. You said you were walking into a store, a young Black brother came up to you and wanted you to sign some petitions. Yeah. And instead of you blowing them off, and like a lot of people did, you took the opportunity to educate him and say, look, brother,
do you know what's in this?
Do you know what's in it? And not only that, your appearance is threatening to not just white people, but to anybody. Pull your pants up.
Right.
Take the do-rag off.
Right.
Stop and be knowledgeable about what you're saying. And you educated him, and you probably gave him something to think about. He more than likely cleaned up his act
to get more signatures.
So we need more people like you to do that, to educate the young ones. We're supposed to do that, and we don't.
We don't. And, and the sad thing is when you've got these young males who are being raised by their mamas and they have a lot of feminism to them, you can tell in their mannerisms, they're not going to do that.
Or their fathers who just don't give a damn.
Right. And, and that's a whole different topic of why are women picking, these guys that they know are a certain way And then as they get older in our 40s, you ain't got nothing coming, and your ass is heading out the door because the gravity's taking over, and you ain't got
gravity.
you ain't that fine young boo thing you used to be.
Right.
You got 3 kids, 2 different baby daddies, 1 in jail. You got nothing coming in, and Trump is about to make the hood great again. And that's the stuff we got to think about.
Well, we need the hood to be great again. So
we do. Like I said, if they cut all the stuff off, I think that would be a great thing for the Black community.
I agree.
So we're going to catch you guys again next week, if not earlier. Loving the Skin I'm In. This is Dee and Donovan Sadiq, and we're going to keep talking about this until we can't talk about it no more.
Peace.
Peace.